For now.
You might want to. Hey, welcome back. Sorry about that. We had a few technical difficulties, but our alligator is still ready to go and eat. And as we feed, feel free to chime in with any questions you have. I'll be more than willing to answer them. So, like I was saying before, we are target training our alligator. So I present a blue-colored target. There you go, buddy. Oh, I know, you're very excited. And then present his food. And we start this from a very early age for quite a few reasons. Again, it really allows us to, right out of the gate, kind of set the our interactive environment for all of his interactions with us. And especially when we do anything like physicals, or we need to none of us, we always get nervous going to the doctors, any person does, and try to convince an animal that going to the doctors is good can be quite the feat. So the more that we can do to create that positive experience for them, all the better. And so what I'll do is kind of get him target over here. Hey, buddy. Yeah. You are on top of that. I know. Come here. So now you can kind of get a closer up look at this guy. And again, he's one that he's still very small right now, and he's reaching that from snout to tail. He's just a little bit over 2 feet, and quite a little go-getter. I know, buddy. Just wait for him to settle down for a second. We use him a lot for he helps us in our educational programming here, and he's a really great way to kind of showcase an alligator when they're still at a small size and still able to be worked with safely by staff. But once he gets big, because let me tell you, these guys just grow up so quickly. He'll grow roughly a foot a year, a little bit less than that for the first several years of life. So, this time next year, he'll have another foot on him and quite a bit more weight to him, and so on and so forth. So he'll quickly grow quite large.
We do have a question from George, 9 years old. What's his name?
So this little guy, we try to come up with some really fitting nicknames for them. And we have one that the staff used for him, because when he came in, he was really small. And we kind of gave him the nickname Newt, because we thought it was, again, he was very small, and I thought it was just awesome. That's of course going to be very ironic when he gets really big.
Jen, Abigail, age 9, will he bite you as a baby?
Well, my rule is anything with a mouth can bite, and that, the same is true for any animal, especially alligators. So the potential is always there, and we just do our best to make sure that we don't really present a situation that allows that to happen. So we just work safely with them.
Another question, how old is he?
So this guy is 1.5 years old. So he was he was kind of a later in the year of 2018, and when we got him, we got him a little bit later. He was very, very small. I know, buddy. It's hard to remember being that small.
Well, we got another question. Allison, age 9, why is he in a fake pond? And then Olivia, age 9, wants to know how long is their lifespan?
Yeah, well, that's actually a really good question. So we do our best here to recreate as natural of a pond as we can. When this guy, because he's so small, Virginia winters are not great for alligators. Actually, there technically aren't any native alligators to Virginia, and for a reason, because the winters up here can swing wildly, so being outside is just not ideal, especially at such a young age. Here inside until he can grow a little bit larger, and then we'll put him on our more natural environment out on exhibit.
We got a couple more. How long do they stay out of water, and how big will he get?
Both excellent questions. So they can stay out of water for long periods of time because during the day, that nice bright warm sun comes out, and all the alligators will kind of come on up to embankments, or kind of come up onto logs, because with them being dark in color, as you can see, they absorb that heat from the environment quite well, and it helps get their body temperature up. And when they as they continue to grow, eventually, if he's a male, he can reach anywhere.
How much does he weigh now from Morgan, 11 years old?
Well, he's just a few pounds, really. So he's, I think the last time we weighed him, he was about 6 to 8 pounds, and he's got a lot of growing left to do because, again, once he gets to what would be considered full size, they can reach anywhere up to 800 pounds. So yeah, a lot more weight to accumulate before all is said and done.
And where are they mainly located?
So alligators range from just below the Virginia-North Carolina border in that Albemarle Sound area, and their range extends all the way south down to Florida, and they tend to go out a little bit west, into areas like Mississippi. So they occupy those swampy regions and low-lying coastal land all up and down the east coast of the U.S.
You guys got any more questions? Keep them coming in. Otherwise, this is Newt, our baby American alligator.
Yeah.
How fast do they swim? From Gabe.
Gabe? That's a fantastic question. So, at this young age, we could probably outpace them, speed-wise. Like, we could swim faster than this young one can. As an adult, though, I believe it's somewhere in the range of, about 10 miles per hour, 10 to 12 miles per hour swim speed. And, so again, they can, when they get to adult age.
Ben, age 6, wants to know how much will he weigh when...
Question. So when all is said and done and he gets to adult size, he can weigh anywhere from 5 to 800 pounds, depending on if it's a male. If it's a female, they don't get quite as big, so they could be.
From Marshall, age 6, how many teeth do they have? And then Lucius, age 6, what is their lifespan?
So the amount of teeth that an alligator has, and you can kind of see he has 4 to 80 teeth at any one time, them over the course of their life. So, a few will pop out here and there. If one gets damaged, it'll pop out, and a new one will grow in its place. And they can go through teeth like that throughout their lifetime, throughout their entire life.
Olivia, age 9, would like to know, do you guys have other gators?
We do. We have an exhibit alligator that we fed earlier this week. And, he's in the range of, he's about 6 feet, a little over 6 feet. Last time we weighed, he was just around 40 pounds. He's over that by now. Yep.
We have a question from Predators.
So you can, if you can see, he has this on his color. So he has this lighter under camouflage. Because if you think about it, when they're in the dark waters that they inhabit, when the sun is shining bright, it kind of through the water, and that's actually what his pattern helps mimic, is that play of shadow and light that you can see in vegetation where they tend to inhabit. And I don't know if you all heard that a little bit earlier, but our alligator gave a few chirps and to other alligators. So when they're young like this, they can call to mom, and mom will hear the call. They know exactly that it's their offspring instead of someone else's offspring, and they're very much like birds in that regard. All excellent questions.
We do have one more question. How old is the other gator?
How old is the other gator? He's about 6 years old, about 6 to 7 years old. So, like I said, they start out when they hatch just shy of a foot long, and each year they'll grow about another foot. So, that guy on exhibit is just over 6 feet, and he is about in that range of 6 to 7 years old. So thank you all so much for these questions. These were fantastic. I hope you enjoyed seeing our little buddy here. our little, and just for clarification, because we did name him Newt a little ironically, but alligators are, they are reptiles, you know, they are not affiliated in any way with newts. Yeah.
Tegan would like to eat and Jennifer would like to know how.
That's, you know, in a way they kind of, those two questions tie together. So, like I said before, alligators, when they get fully grown, can get 11 to 14 feet long on average if a male, a little bit shorter if a female. And depending on their size, alligators, they don't really want to go for overly complicated and hard to eat meals. They're ambush predators. So the meal that they're gonna seek out are, you know, they want it to be easy. They don't want it to, you know, they want it to be quick so they can eat it right away, and so that it doesn't. So they usually, you know, they eat a lot of, they'll eat turtles, birds, small mammals, and things like that. Again, just things that they can sneak up in the water and try to ambush. So much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed seeing our little alligator here. And, you know, I just want to say join us tomorrow at 11, where we'll be feeding the... And be sure to visit us virtually with all of our natural education on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And, you know, just let you guys know that our work continues. I'd like you all to consider adopting a wild thing during this time to help us support more than the we still take care of from day to day. So I encourage you to visit our website, thevlm.org, and thanks for watching.